In today's video, we will talk about one of the most famous TV shows in the United States, Brazil, and several other countries, American Pickers. The 21st season of American Pickers in the US and Caçadores de Relíquias in Brazil was supposed to be just like any other season, with Frank and Mike traveling across the country searching for valuable antiques. However, in episode 7 of the season, titled Burlesque Queen, both men appeared as usual, but Frank was missing in episode 8. The show's hosts, Mike and Danielle Colby, did not acknowledge his absence, and the season continued without Frank. But why did he disappear? That's what we'll talk about today, as well as the real reasons behind his departure. Before we get into that, let's remember how this partnership started and how they reached the success they had. American Pickers is a reality TV show that premiered on January 18, 2010, on the History Channel, produced by A+E Television and Cineflix Media. The show follows antique shop owners and collectors Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz as they travel across the U.S. to buy unique items, either for resale or their personal collections. Danielle Colby manages Mike's business from their headquarters in LeClaire, Iowa, and more recently, from a second location in Nashville, Tennessee. They initially drove a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van and later switched to a Ford Transit. Frank sold his finds in his own shop and on his website, Frank Fritz Finds. The men hit the road not only by following Danielle's leads but also by stopping at random places that might have valuable antiques. Some locations were even revisited multiple times. It took 5 years to turn this raw concept into a television series. Mike brought in Frank, whom he had known since the 7th grade, because two collectors talking, laughing, and negotiating on the road were more interesting than a single guy in a van. With Danielle managing the store, there was always a connection to home. Mike adjusted and edited the concept many times, facing rejection more than he cared to remember. Against all odds, American Pickers finally made it to History Channel's lineup in the fall of 2010. It became an overnight sensation, attracting more than 5 million viewers per week in its first year. It was the highest-rated unscripted series on cable television at the time, and is now seen in 63 countries. As one of the network's biggest success stories, the show has been a staple of the channel, with Mike, Frank, and Danielle leading the way. Their millions of devoted fans learned to appreciate the beauty of chipped paint, rust, and the hidden history behind old items. Mike became known as one of the best storytellers on television. He always said the show wasn't just about things. After all the searching, dead ends, discoveries, and deals, the real treasures were the stories of the people who made, used, and saved pieces of American history. So, why did Frank leave? In an exclusive July 2021 interview with a major American newspaper, Frank explained that he had not quit the show and was eager to return. "I'd like to come back to the show. I did it for 11 years. I'm 100% recovered and ready to return," he said at the time. However, Frank claimed that the producers were not giving him a direct answer about his return. "They talk out of both sides of their mouth. One day, they say they want me back, and the next day, they act like I was never part of the show." He added that the production team had called him on his birthday, October 11th, saying they would call back the next day, but he never heard from them again. Frank was rushed to the hospital 4 times, and his health took a severe turn for the worse. After suffering a stroke, he ended up in a wheelchair. According to columnist Ricardo Feltrin from UOL, there was never an official explanation for Frank's departure. However, behind the scenes, it was well known that he struggled with alcoholism. Frank was also very open about his rivalry with Mike Wolfe. He called Mike arrogant and admitted that they had not spoken in 2 years. He told The Sun that Mike had never even checked in on him after his back surgery. The rivalry seemed to ease after Frank suffered a stroke on July 21, 2022. Mike addressed the situation on Instagram, stating that he had remained private about Frank's health struggles but was now asking fans to pray for him. "There have been a lot of opinions about my friendship with Frank in the show, But now is not the time to clear things up. Now is the time to pray for my friend, Mike wrote. Frank suffered a stroke and is in the hospital. Please keep him in your hearts and thoughts. I pray more than anything that he pulls through. I love you, buddy. Frank was reportedly found on the floor when the incident occurred. His father, Bill Fritz, confirmed in early August that his son was in stable condition. Eventually, Frank was replaced by Mike's brother, but the show never regained the same level of success. Ratings dropped, and fans hoped for Frank's return. However, according to The Sun, Frank's health is now extremely fragile. He is currently disabled, uses a wheelchair, has difficulty speaking, and requires assistance from friends for daily activities. Leave a comment below and let us know if you think Frank has been missed on this show and whether American Pickers is the same without him. Do you believe he will ever return? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and support us for more content like this. See you in the next video.